Okay, Paul and Ahmad had a total of 100 marbles. You have two friends having a total of 100 marbles. After each of them bought 12 more marbles. After each of them bought 12 more. That means in total, how many did they buy extra? They bought a total of 24 extra, right? Ahmad had 14 over 17 of the number of marbles Paul had. So Ahmad had 14 out of 17. Okay, of the number of marbles Paul had. So who has more, Paul or Ahmad? Paul is how many units?
20.
Ahmad? 14 units, right? What fraction of the total 100 marbles did Paul have at first? Okay, I'm going to draw a model for this question. So I know that Paul and Ahmad, because just now you told me that Paul has more units, and you told me it's 17 units. And Ahmad is actually 14 units. This is the after, right? After they bought 12 marbles each. Am I right or wrong? So that means at first they have 100. Each of them bought 12. 12. What is the total number of marbles? 124. Now, Ernest, form the equation. I want to form the equation, meaning how many units equals to how much. Form the equation, that's what I meant. Okay, we have done it a few times. Ernest. You will say 31 units equals to 124. Do you understand? 31 units equals to 124. So 31 units equals to 124. Anyone unclear how to form this equation? Because I know Paul is 17 units, Ahmad is 14 units. They add up to become 31 units, right? So 31 units equals to 124. So Yongqian, tell me, 1 unit equals to how much? $124 divided by 31, right? Equals to 4. So 124 divided by 31 equals to 4. So I know that 1 unit equals to 4. Okay? What fraction of the total 100 marbles did Paul have at first? So I know that Paul actually has 17 units at the end, yes or no? Okay, so 17 units equals to 17 multiplied by 4, right? Equals to 68. That means Paul has 68 marbles in the end. Yes or no? But because of the question they want at first, what must I do? I must subtract off the 12 that Paul bought, right? So 68 minus 12 equals to 56. So, since Paul has 56 marbles at first, but they ask for fraction, am I right? So it's 56 over how many? 100, because they have a total of 100 at first. Simplest form? 14 out of 25. Yes, Amish, you have got a question. Okay, no questions. So please write down 14 over 25. Okay, by going through this set of questions, it will help you do your corrections later, okay? That's why I'm not going through your corrections for the previous worksheet yet. So let's move on to the next question. Now, Diana and Jenny shared some beads Diana had 60 fewer bits than Jenny. After Jenny gave 1/8 of her bits to Diana, Diana had 20 more bits than Jenny. How many bits did Diana have at first? Because of this word at first, which model should I draw first? Jing Kai. The word at first, which model must I draw first? After model, right? So because of word at first, we always try to draw the after model first because it's a before and after kind of question, right? So drawing the after model first, who has more? After? Diana, right? So my personal preference is always to draw the more first. Diana has more than Jenny. Diana has how much more? Or how many more? 20 more, right? So I can actually draw Diana has 20 more. Anyone has any problem so far? Gabriel, please sit properly. Okay, so you know that this after model takes place, right? After Jenny gave 1/8 of her bits to Diana. So since Jenny gave 1/8 of her bits to Diana, what fraction is she left with, Jack? She's left with 7/8. And 7/8 is how many units, Sky? 7 units. So Jenny is left with 7 units because she gave 1/8 to Diana. Anyone has any problem so far? Yes? I think it's a bit of... Okay. Yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable to be writing when I'm standing. Okay, so now what's the next model I need to draw? I need to draw my before model, right? So I draw my before model with Diana and Jenny. So I try to align my model. You can see it starts off at the same line. Okay, so now I need to return the 1/8 that Jenny gave away, right? That means I need to return the 1 unit to... I need to return 1 unit back to Jenny. So when I return 1 unit to Jenny, how many units does Jenny have, Ernest? 8 units. So Jenny becomes 8 units. So since 1 unit is returned back to Jenny, Alexis, can you tell me how many is Diana left with in terms of units? 6 units and 20. Okay, so Diana is left with 6 units and 20, right? Yes or no? How do I know I need to stop here? Because the final sentence tells me that Diana had 60 fewer than Jenny. So this must be 60. Yes? Now, Ernest, form me the equation. Very good. At last you're getting it. 2 units equals to 20 plus 60, which is equals to 80, right? Can I find 1 unit? Okay, 1 unit, very simple. You just need to use 80 divided by 2 and you can get 40. Okay, now that you know what is 1 unit, I want to know how many bits did Diana have at first. So at first means before, right? So she has 6 units, which is 40 multiplied by 6, 240. Is that the final answer? No. What must I do to this 240? Very good. 240 plus 20, and that gives you 260. 260. Okay, so please write down the answer and then we'll move on to the next question. So looking at question 3 now. Okay. This person, Mrs. Fundy, bought a cake to share with her nieces. She kept 1/4 of it and her niece shared the remaining cake. So she kept 1/4. She bought one cake, right? A cake means one whole. She kept 1/4 of it. So what fraction did she give to the niece, Xuan Wei? 3/4. So because the remaining cake must be 3/4. So this part, remaining cake must be 3/4. Okay, so out of this 3/4, each girl ate 1/12 of the cake. So how many nieces does she have? Yun Chong, tell me the working. Tell me 1/4. 1 minus 1/4. 3/4. Okay, so in other words, the remaining cake, which is 3/4, right? You divide by 1/12. You will get the number of nieces, right? So very simple. 3/4 change, right? And then you flip it. Okay. You will not simplify, you reduce it, right? You reduce it. Okay. So I can cancel 1. This becomes 3. So in the end, 9. So quite easily done. This is the simplest question in this worksheet. Okay, next question. Elsie saved 1/8 of her monthly salary and spent $350 on food. The amount that she spent on food is 5/9 more than the amount that she saved that month. How much was her salary? So, you know that she saved, let's say she saved 1 whole for that month. Okay, let's say she saved 1 whole for that month. What fraction did she spend on food earners? You don't need to use calculator. Okay, it's very simple. Jack, help him. Vikram. 1 whole plus 5/9. Okay? Do you understand why is it 1 whole plus 5/9? Let's say, because we want to find the number of units that she actually spent on food. And the only way we can do that, okay, is when we treat the amount that she saved that month as 1 whole. Okay? You plus 5/9. Tell me in terms of improper fraction, Colin. She. Improper fraction. 14/9. When we get this improper fraction will be able to tell me how many units is spent on food and how many units is saved, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? So, why is it that you do not understand why I put 1 whole as the amount that she saved for that month? Because it's easier for you after you do the addition, right? You can draw the units out, right? Okay, if you do not, then how are you going to draw out the model? Tell me. You can't, right? Okay, right? So now I can draw the model that the amount that she spent on food is more. So I draw it food compared to save, right? So food is how many units, Jingjie? Food is actually 14 units based on the improper fraction. We know it's 14 units. What about the savings? Is how many units, Leroy? Nine units. There shouldn't be any hesitation when you answer my question, okay? You should be very confident and know what's happening. Okay, because all the working is shown here. So, why is it I treat the savings as one whole, right? It's so that when I add 5 over 9, I can get 14 units. Okay, understand? There's a reason why I treat it as one whole, because 5 over 9 more than. Okay, so now you have this. She spent $350 on food. So, Ernest, form the equation for me. $14 units equals to $350 because we know that she spent on food is $350. So since 14 units equals to 350, how much is 1 unit, Jack? So when you do a $350 divide by 14, what do you get? I'm waiting for Jack to give me an answer. Please do not interrupt. $350 divided by 14, you cannot get 100 plus. Okay? You're allowed to use a calculator for this. $25. So you know that 1 unit is $25. Okay. Now since you know 1 unit is $25, okay, and she saved 1/8 of her monthly salary, right? Okay. So 1/8, that means in this case here, this is the savings, yes or no? 9 units. Correct? 9 units is 1/8 of her monthly salary. So, if 9 units is 1/8, what is her monthly salary in terms of units, Damil? How do you get 81? $72 units. Do you understand how he got 72 units? Because 1/8 is actually 9 units, right? 1 whole, that means 1 whole represents her entire salary, right? 1 whole would be 9 times 8 to give you 72 units. Am I right? Yes. Okay, so you have 72 units, which is actually $25 times 72. What do you get? $1,800. So this is her salary for the month. Okay. So after this, I expect you all to be able to do the corrections for the previous paper. Okay, next question. Now, question 5. I know that some of you face problems for this question because for the previous worksheet regarding the one for paper flowers, right? Okay, some of you left it blank. So if you look through this, please pay attention. Okay? Right. There were red, blue, and green marbles. 3 different colors, right? 4/9 of the marbles were red. Okay? So what fraction were blue and green? Dylan. Not this Dylan, the other Dylan. Sorry? What was my question? Was that my question? Your friends couldn't hear you. He said the answer to my question was 5/6. Do you all think that he's right? Dylan, do you hear my question? You think you heard it wrongly. You need to pay attention. Shenwei, tell me, what's the answer? 5/9. You can definitely he can hear me. He's further than you. Okay, you need to pay attention, Dylan. Okay, my question was, if 4/9 of the marbles were red, what fraction were blue and green? So it's 5/9. Okay, so you know that out of this 5/9, 1/6 of the remainder are blue marbles and the rest were green marbles. Okay, if there were 92 more green marbles than red marbles, how many red marbles were there? Okay, I'm going to draw a model for this question. The entire model will represent the total number of marbles, right? This is not well drawn. I'm going to erase it. Okay. So, I'll try to draw it as straight as I can. Okay, so 4/9 of the marbles were red. I'm going to cut into how many parts? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4/9, which is this part, right? 4/9 were red. Any problems so far? No. So the other part must be, the remainder must be 5/9, right? Okay. So 1/6 of the remainder. So I'm going to pull down my remainder. My model, I pull down the remainder. Now for the remainder, how many parts must I cut it up? 6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 1/6 of the remainder are blue. So this is 1/6 and it is blue. And the rest are green marbles. Okay? Green. So now, before I can solve the question, okay, I must take note that there is actually 5 boxes here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But 6 boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? But they actually represent equal number of marbles, right? Correct? So, one of them shows 5 units, the other one shows 6 units. What do you think is the next thing I must do beyond? Don't yes me, I'm waiting for my answer. Jingkai. Yes, you need to use lowest common multiple to find the common units, right? So I have 5 and I've got 6. What's the lowest common multiple? 30. So I know that from here to here it must be 60 from here to here it must be 30 units. Here to here it must be 30 units, right? So what can I put in this box beyond? What can I put into this box? 6 units, right? Each of this box I can put 6 units. 6 and 6. And what can I put in each of this box, Brendan? 5 units, good. Okay, so you can see that after I put in all the 5 units, right, and all the 6 units, you can see that both of them are 60 units. Yes, sorry, both of them are 30 units each, right? Correct? So I have 6 units here as well. 6 units, 6 units, 6 units. So, can you give me the total number of marbles in terms of units, Jack? Which is 54 what? Yes, 54 units, because 6 times 9, right? 54 units. Okay, so you have 54 units. This is for the total number of marbles. Then, red marbles. Okay, red marbles in terms of units, MRP. $24 what? 24 units. Okay, blue in terms of units is 5, very straightforward. Green in terms of units, Elliot. 25 units, very good. So you can always double check if it's correct. 25 plus 5 is 30. 30 plus 24 gives you 54 units, right? So always do some intermediate check to make sure that you're correct so far. Now, the question states that if there are 92 more green marbles than red marbles, so in terms of units, how many more green marbles are there than red marbles in terms of units? Gabriel? 1 unit, right? How do y'all get 1 unit? Dylan, Eldon? Yes, 25 units minus 24 units, you actually get 1 unit, right? Which is the difference, yes or no? So 1 unit equals to how much, Ernest? 92. Can you find the number of red marbles? So red marbles is how many units? Red marbles is how many units? 24 units. So I know that red marble is 24 units. It will be 92 multiplied by 24. And what do I get? 2,208. So it's 2208. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Okay. This one, a couple of you still have problems. Not too tough, but I see I think 2 or 3 of you still couldn't do the corrections. So please pay attention. I'll be checking through your corrections later. I'll give you some time to do the work in class. So Mrs. Wong spent $384 on 3 different types of fruits: rock melon, durian, and jackfruit. The number of rock melon is 2/3 the number of durian, and the number of durian is 3/5 the number of jackfruit. Based on this last 2 statements, which fruit is the most, Leroy? Jackfruit is the most, right? Then which fruit is the least, Danish? The rock melon. So I'm going to draw a model for the number of fruits. Okay, number of fruits. Okay, I have jackfruit the most. And I have rock melon. Rock melon is the least, right? So durian must be here. and followed by rock melon. So, jackfruit is how many units beyond? 5 units. Now, durian is how many units, Caroline? 3 units, good. Rock melon is how many units, Amish? 2 units. So all this is for the number of fruits. So the ratio is 5:3:2, right? Correct? Okay, now, the ratio of the cost of each rock melon to durian to jackfruit is 6:9:5. So let's say I have cost of the rock melon to durian to jackfruit. Rock melon is 6 units. Or should I write, do you think it's better to write 6 units or 6 parts? 6 parts, right? Why? Why do you think it's better? Yes, because you don't want to confuse with this portion, right, where you use units. Correct? Because you are really using units here, it's better that we use parts for the other one. Okay, so this must be 6 parts. And then durian will be 9 parts. And for jackfruit, it will be 5 parts. Now, what is the next piece of information that we are given? We are given that a rock melon costs $12. One rock melon costs $12. All this is for one rock melon, one durian, one jackfruit, right? Correct? So, since one rock melon costs $12, now, Sky, form the equation for me. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I can't hear you, sorry. Sorry? What did he say? Think about it. I'm asking you to form an equation for me. Okay, form an equation. Darren, tell me what's the equation. Very good. 6p equals to $12. So I know this is $12. So 1p equals to $2. Now I want 9p. 9p equals to how much? 18. So what costs $18? How many durian cost $18? How many durian cost $18? Who's the one that said 3? Jack, do you understand why is it 1 durian? Then what? Stop dreaming, Jack. Okay, then jackfruit we know is 5 parts, right? So how much is it, jackfruit? $10. So, Jack, how many jackfruits cost $10? 1, huh? Okay. Yes, and there's only 1 jackfruit. Right? So, we know the cost of one rock melon, 1 durian, and 1 jackfruit. So the next thing we need to do is we need to know what's the total cost of 1 set, right? Correct? So I know that 5 units. That means 5 units stands for 5 jackfruit, right? Correct? So you know that one jackfruit actually costs $10. You multiply by 5, you got $50. Because I'm standing up, so the pen always... because I cannot see who is not paying attention if I'm sitting down. Yeah, that's the reason why every time I walk past this class, I can see that you're not paying attention to the teacher. A lot of you doing other things underneath the table, but the teacher sitting down here can't see. Okay? Right? So I can never sit down in the class. If I sit down, that means I'm allowing you to dream. Okay, so I know that 5 jackfruit actually costs $50, right? Okay, now I have 3 durian. It's actually, each durian costs $18, right? And I've got 3. How much does 3 durian cost? $54. And then in one set, I have 2 rock melon, right? So each rock melon costs $12. I multiply by 2, $24. So I know that this is actually $24. So in one set, let's recap. In one set, okay, one set. Okay, Brandon, how many jackfruits are there? 5. Xuan Wei, how many durians are there in one set? Yes. In one set, how many durians are there? Okay. How many rock melons are there in one set, Daryl? 2. Okay. So we can find the total cost of one set of fruits, right? Which consists of 5 jackfruits, 3 durians, 2 rock melons. Yes? So I can actually add up 50 plus $54 plus 24. All together add up to how much? 128. It's getting very untidy. Okay, let me try to improve on it. Okay, so 50 plus 54 plus 24. How much do I get altogether? $128. Okay, so this is for one set. Okay, but we know that the person actually spent $384 altogether, right? Okay, Kaylin, tell me what's the next step? Very good. $384 divided by $128. So Alexis, what's the answer for this? Three what? 3 sets. Okay. So you know that when a person spent $384, he is a he, right? Yeah, no, it's a she. She actually bought 3 sets of fruits, right? Correct? So how much did she spend on the durians? Okay, you know that there's 3 sets, and in each set, right, there's 3 durians. Am I right or wrong? So what's the total number of durians that she bought? What's the total number of durians that she bought? 9, right? So 9 multiplied by the cost of each durian is cost of 1 durian. $18. And this gives you? Sorry? $162. This is the amount that she spent on the durians, right? Then next, how many fruits did she buy? So we know that in one set, what's the total number of fruits in one set? 10, right? Because 5 jackfruit plus 3 durian plus 2 rock melon is 10, right? So one set there's 10 fruits times 3 sets equals to 30 fruits altogether. So 162 and 30. So remember to write your answers clearly at the bottom. $162 and 30 fruits altogether.